Found a way to connect to the internet. Welcome to the QAA Podcast Premium Episode 311, UFO of God. As always, we are your hosts, Jake Rockatansky,
Liv Agar,
and Travis View.
It was so difficult for me not to do something like Episode 311, Amber is the color of their energy. I really thought about it. I thought about 3 different 311 jokes that I could possibly, but I was like, it doesn't work, and it's not going to be good for the SEO. It's going to be bad.
Are you even familiar with 311, Liv? This is a
No.
band that was popular when we were in high school, Jake.
No.
You don't know 311? Amber is the color of your energy.
Oh, it's a band. I see.
It's a band,
It's a band.
No.
It's like, yeah, okay.
Did you think it was like a number you called?
It's like,
The only 311 I know is like that Eric Andre skit where he's making fun of the Investigate 9/11 guy, and he's like, investigates 311, and they start dancing.
Oh, yeah, because it's the band. That'd be a funny band to start.
I don't get the joke. That's really
Yeah.
funny. I was just like, it's funny. He used a different number.
It's funny, different number. Yes, they were kind of like, I don't know, like sublimey, kind of like reggaeton almost, but like, stonery.
yeah, stoner white guy reggae.
They were very, very popular when I was like a freshman in college and smoking lots of weed. Every now and again, an episode will find its way to me through the form of a group chat, which consists of 3 guys who are mostly interested in video games and 1 guy who is super pilled. Specifically, alien Christian pilled. Kinda. As entertainment. Be cool if it was real. Here are a couple of links. Just one of those guys.
That's always how it starts.
He's not like, this is definitely, he never pushes it on you. He's never like, this is real, and like, you guys got to get on board. He's always like, what do you think about this? I saw this, it's kind of interesting.
He's like a guy who's like another pandemic away from being properly pilled. Like some people, it only took 1 pandemic. For others, it's like, it takes 2.
Yeah, or like 1.5.
Yeah. Like another swine flu scare, maybe. And he's
Yeah,
pilled.
exactly. A scare could do it. So this week, he asked me if I had ever heard of Chris Bledsoe, a somewhat prominent figure in the UFO community who has videotaped thousands of flying orbs above his home in North Carolina. The question was prompted by a recent Reddit post my friend had seen discussing a particularly clear and seemingly close-up view of one of Chris's orbs. Now, I'll try to describe the video. It's kind of this perfect circle. It's pinkish on the interior, and it's got this translucent quality to it, and the insides are kind of in motion. It really does sort of resemble a molecular cell. And one Redditor made an interesting comment that the video looks like a cross-section of a living being, as if one slice of it can be witnessed within the 3rd dimension, following the logic of Carl Sagan's Flatlander analogy. Do you guys know that by any chance?
Of course. It's
Of
like,
course.
a 2-dimensional being to us would only see a small slice of us. And so it's like, well, imagine 4 dimensions.
Exactly. Travis, are you familiar with this?
I am not.
Oh, this is like, I watched a video on YouTube that it's kind of like a Schoolhouse Rock style animation of an ant traveling across a playing card. And basically the idea is like the ant only knows in front of it, it only lives in 2 dimensions on this 2-dimensional plane that it travels on. And if a human being were to stick its finger, in front of the ant on the piece of paper, the ant would see this giant fleshy, pink skyscraper, essentially, that would appear in front of it, and it would either try to maybe crawl up it or it would go around it. But the idea is that the ant cannot comprehend the intelligence that is attached to this pink, fleshy sort of skyscraper that has landed in front of it. And the same would be us with beings that lived in the 4th dimension or the 5th dimension.
Though isn't that like the existing in multiple dimensions is like, or extra spatial dimensions is like a string theory thing?
Very much so.
Which I think is like kind of not on the kind of discredited physics movement now. It's very pop physics, I think. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know, but it sounds cool though.
Very pop physics, and it allows for a lot of great exposition in science fiction movies.
Absolutely.
Like whenever you run into a problem, you're like, well, I mean, if string theory's real, then technically what you could do, it's a real good pseudoscience. I don't know. I wouldn't call it pseudoscience. There are a lot of very credited people that have devoted their lives to sort of finding more proof. There's Brian Greene, I think, wrote the initial string theory book, and then Michio Kaku. I mean, there's been a lot of really Neil deGrasse Tyson talks a lot about it.
My understanding, talking from a physics grad student that I dated for a short amount of time when I was in grad school, is that there are no string theory guys in most physics departments anymore. It's it used to be a fad.
Oh,
and
interesting.
They haven't really proved it at all. And it's trust me, bro,
It's grown out of favor. Interesting. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Not to rain on this poor UFO guy's parade.
Believe me, he does plenty of that on his own. The aliens do plenty of that for him.
There is something so American about UFO sightings. I saw a map, I don't know if it's real, of average amount of UFO sightings across the world, and it's all Europe and North America. Because it's just looking up into the sky and seeing something you don't understand and being no, I know what it is. Yeah, definitely. I'm confident this is aliens.
Well, and as you'll see, this is even better because the guy believes that he can summon them.
That is, we're reaching peak American, I think.
Yeah, that these orbs are actually part of an intention, and that anybody, who can sort of, tune themselves into the right frequency can also, bring crafts. Well, they're not actually crafts, as we'll find out, but bring quote unquote crafts, above their own homestead. You can create your own Skinwalker Ranch at home, folks. Can you imagine being oh, Mom, there's a brand new glowing orb, the Target toy section. Really want to get it. She's like, no, we've got
we've got orbs at home.
Yeah, we've got glowing orbs at home, honey. So this Reddit post was initially published on the sub Interdimensional NHI, or Non-Human Intelligence, and this is a community of folks who are interested in the idea that there are a separate kind of extraterrestrials who do not come from another planet, but instead another dimension. Think Krang from Ninja Turtles and the Neutrinos. They live in a completely different dimension than the sewer systems of New York. Now, one of the comments in the subreddit caught my attention. One user had written, quote, "a biblically accurate angel." Aha. Now I saw why my friend was seeking validation on this theory. Potentially he, and as I would discover, certainly the man who filmed the video, believed that aliens might in fact be angels, that they've been well documented in the Bible, and that the shift, quote unquote, is coming soon, alien style. Chris Bledsoe has been in the game for quite some time. In fact, the 64-year-old former builder and construction professional was featured on an early and quickly canceled Discovery Channel show about alien encounters.
Where did they find the guys for these Discovery or History Channel shows? Did they just go on let's see who's yelling strange things on the street today outside a recording office?
No, they actually. I can tell you, I read this guy's book. We're gonna get into the whole thing, but I actually know how they found him. He basically contacted MUFON, and this was after his first encounter, which we'll get into. But he was really hesitant. He was worried that he was going to be labeled kind of a crazy person, and he was very protective of his family and his own sort of reputation in the town, which he had built with his father over decades long. Successful construction business that unfortunately, kind of went away during the recession in 2008. And so, but anyways, he went to MUFON, and at the time, MUFON was working with the Discovery Channel as producers, they were kind of partnering on this UFO series together, and they were really interested in Chris's story because he was a family man, he was well respected about the town, he didn't have a history of making any sort of wild claims. So MUFON really was interested in kind of putting Chris and his family forward, as the face of people who were speaking out about their UFO encounters. And it turns out horribly, of course. You've been listening to a sample of a premium episode of the QAA podcast. For access to the full episode, as well as all past premium episodes and all of our podcast miniseries, go to patreon.com/QAA. Travis, why is that such a good deal?
Well, Jake, you get hundreds of additional episodes of the QAA podcast for just $5 per month. For that very low price, you get access to over 200 premium episodes, plus all of our miniseries. That includes 10 episodes of Man Clan with Julian and Annie, 10 episodes of Perverts with Julian and Liv, 10 episodes of The Spectral Voyager with Jake and Brad, plus 20 episodes of Trickle Down with me, Travis View. It's a bounty of content and the best deal in podcasting.
Travis, for once, I agree with you. And I also agree that people could subscribe by going to patreon.com/QAA.
Well, that's not an opinion, it's a fact.
You're so right, Jake.
We love and appreciate all of our listeners.
Yes, we do. And Travis is actually crying right now, I think, out of gratitude, maybe?
That's not true. The part about me crying, not me being grateful. I'm very grateful.